I put it on his collar because you said the front isn't going to work.
No. You said the front was going to work, so I want to see you handle him on the front clip, and we'll use that if it works good.
Ooh, sit. Can you sit?
Sit,
Austin, sit. Sit.
You might as well put him on rollerblades because he's not listening. He's stressed out of his mind. This is what you get when you don't have a lot of structure with the dog. All right, you guys, so this dog was transferred to me by one of my other trainers because of the dog's aggressive issues. So one of the owners, unfortunately, of this dog recently passed away, and this dog, after that event, has had really bad reactivity to strangers outside, in the house, and she can't bring this dog anywhere. And being an Australian Shepherd, especially at 3 years old or almost 3 years old, that is really detrimental to not be able to do anything when you're that type of dog. So when did the aggression really start to come out where you started to see it?
After my husband died. I had him home on hospice. Strangers came after he expired. We had to go into another room. And when he came back out, he was gone. And he laid under the bed that night. He wouldn't come out. The next day, you know, they came to get the bed. I had to put him in his crate because he went after those people. So I don't know whether he thinks they're going to come and take me away. And now people he's known before, like Scott, who'd walk him when my husband was sick, and then Paul down the street. He would always call the dog over, and the dog would want to go see him and whatever. Paul came to take him for a walk, and he went right after that guy. Rah, rah, rah.
All right, well,
You wanna be a good boy?
I'm just gonna do some temperament test stuff.
People that he's not familiar with, see?
I have a feeling that when we put you in here, he's gonna be more trying to get to you than he cares about me. So I'm just trying to see if he's protecting you or not.
It's okay. It's
So
okay.
whenever you're ready, you can come on in. So basically what we did is we took you out of the picture. Now we're gonna see how he reacts to me. I'm gonna back up and then I'm gonna go back to the dog. Good. Good boy. So as you can see, I pulled the owner away and I said, okay, let me see if this dog reacts to me the same. As you saw, he didn't. Didn't care at all. Owner came and sat down. Dog didn't care about me, didn't growl, didn't lunge, didn't do all the things that he just was doing 2 seconds ago while the owner was there. So that immediately tells me this is a protective thing. This is a resource guarding game. This is the dog saying, hey, I'm not comfortable with my owner. I don't know how to handle situations. She doesn't know how to handle situations. Therefore, I must protect everybody at all costs. Now, this is something you guys probably see on this channel a lot. The dog is reactive and acting aggressive because the owner doesn't know what they're doing. It seems a little bit silly. Why would a dog do that? Well, it's because you guys have to understand that dogs, especially working Australian Shepherds, are really born to do something, to have structure, to have a job. Give me something to do. And when you don't do that, the dog gets really insecure and kind of spirals out of control. Sorry for your loss, first of all, but I've had this happen before, where a dog witnesses something that their human goes through, whether it's death or it's a car accident or it's abuse of some sort. It happens. You know, I work with a lot of different dogs in a lot of cases, and sometimes the dog can then be vulnerable or protective or whatever. They're amazing animals. They know when things happen and then they kind of put things together.
I've tried taking him out. I'd put him on a cable and I'd sit out there and I'd say, it's okay. And I'd pet him, you know, nobody's gonna hurt us. And I tried that and, you know, I got nowhere with him.
In theory, it sounds like a good idea if he spoke perfect English, right? You would say, hey, we're okay. Oh, we're okay. But what ends up happening, go ahead.
You know, I'd pet him and try and calm him down, and it's all right, nobody's gonna hurt us, whatever.
Right. Yeah, so the way that dogs will perceive that is there's a problem. So if you go out to the front yard and all of a sudden you're talking to the dog and they don't understand what you're saying and you're stroking them, that tells the dog that something's going on. On the contrary of what people would believe, if you give a dog affection physically, that doesn't always mean that they're like, okay, this is a good thing. Not always, I'm just saying. If you go out front, you say, it's okay, buddy, it's okay, buddy, it's okay, buddy, he might go, what's okay? What's going on? Why are you talking to me? What I want to do is I just want to put this basic slip leash on him. So this is just going to go right behind his ears. So what I'm going to do is it's my signature move, is I'll grab the place command and use it as a barrier. If he does get nervous and freak out and come at me, I can neutralize the situation by just kind of saying, hey, don't bite me. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna try to pull him out a little bit.
I'm afraid to really take him on long walks because I'm afraid he's gonna bite somebody or
Yeah.
he's gonna knock me down going at somebody.
Yeah, so I think, my main concern right now with him is I'm not really concerned about him being aggressive. I'm concerned about the control that you have with him when you're out. He's pulling, he's sniffing, he's doing what he wants. He doesn't have structure. He doesn't have the guidance that he needs to be confident. And if you're feeding him information like it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, and we're petting him and we're talking to him, it's going to make him insecure, and it's also going to make him vulnerable and make him reactive to people he doesn't know. All right, you guys, if you don't know about the No Bad Dog official members club, it's a subscription members club where you guys are getting the full videos of what you're seeing right here on YouTube. So you guys are seeing the 15, 20-minute videos here on YouTube, and on the subscription club, you're getting the entire video. Sometimes it's over an hour long. You're also getting a lot of unreleased footage that we get and we pull from different seminars and different sessions that we just don't put on here on YouTube. It's also an awesome community of dog owners that are empowering each other. It's a safe place to talk and ask questions about your dogs without getting ridiculed on the internet. I'm really excited and proud of the No Bad Dog members club. Click the link in the description below to join now.
He'll walk right alongside of me. He doesn't pull me or yank me or whatever.
Okay, yep. It's good that he doesn't pull you and all that stuff. That's good. That's an advantage. It would be nice if you had really good control over him to say, hey, these are the things that we're gonna do, especially when you get into stressful situations. I mean, I know that you're here for the external reactivity. That is happening because of your relationship more than anything. So I wanna work on some of the control and stuff like that. We're just gonna hang on to this slip leash for now and see how he responds. But the problem with the harness is it encourages dogs to pull. I have no problem using a harness on a dog if the dog understands verbal behaviors and you say, hey, do this, and they do it. To be honest, you don't have to put anything on the dog if your dog listens that good. But when you get a dog that's not listening and not responding to you, and you're using a piece of equipment that encourages dog to pull, you're kind of double downing on.
Even if it's on the front, if I hook him on the front and it turns him?
Yeah, if it turns him and it works, that's gonna be great. But I'm just concerned, historically, I've seen those front clip harnesses. When you get somebody that comes up and a dog that is going to be aggressive to that individual, that front clip harness is going to be eliminated when the dog lunges. It's not gonna do anything. And I'm sure you've experienced that several times already.
No, usually if I pull on it, he does turn, and that's when he'll come and jump
Okay.
against me
So
and
let's
growl at
put
me.
the leash on the front clip harness, and I wanna see how you handle him here and see how it works for you.
We can do that.
Sure, here you go.
Sit. Can you sit? Sit. Sit. Okay. Another stranger's here. He's not going to do much of anything. Ooh. No, he's too excited now.
Right, so that's what I was saying earlier is when there's a situation where he wants to do something, you're not gonna have any control. That's what I was saying. That's gonna be like a huge liability if you're trying to control him on something that you might as well put him on rollerblades because
let's
he's not
walk.
he's not
Come on,
listening.
let's walk.
Try it.
Heel. Oh. You want to try walking him, Scott? See if he'll walk with you?
There you go. Good job. Let's just do some obedience to see how he responds to the verbal cues. So whatever he knows.
Sit. Can you sit?
Sit, Austin.
Austin, sit.
Sit down.
Sit. 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 He's watching you guys. Austin, sit. No, that's not a sit, but that's a good boy. Come. Austin, come. Come. He's not gonna do much now.
So I'm really big on what works. So the owner's giving me a little bit pushback on the front clip harness works great, as long as we clip it to the front, because right now it's on the back. Great. Again, I don't care really what works. Let's just see what we can do here. So she puts the front clip harness on, and as you guys can see, I kind of let that play out for 5 to 10 minutes on still no control. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch to the slip leash, and we're gonna start training the dog's owner's dog walker how to start handling this dog and provide more structure to the dog for immediate control and immediate confidence boosting. I want you to just say his name and then ask him to heel. And the heel for everybody is gonna be different. Heel typically, historically, is going to be the dog at your heels. Some people have that in motion, some people have it in, I want you to heel and come sit next to me. The way that we train it and the way that you're gonna be using it with Kyle in the future is when we ask a dog to heel, that means that they're gonna walk on our left side on a loose leash at our heels. When we stop, unless you have some sort of auto sit with the dog, they don't have to sit. The sit is different than the heel. The heel is only gonna be applied when we are asking the dog to walk nicely. So when you move forward with him, I want you to use a lot of momentum and less pressure, and try to just put him on your left side and just fold the leash in half. Yep, and then put him on your other side. Good, and just nice and relaxed with that leash. Yep, and then just keep your leash folded, so the more leash you give him, the more he's gonna, yeah, and he's gonna come out. Like, put your arm down now and relax, good. Right now, he's trying to learn how to yield to leash pressure. So like a horse. When you put back pressure on a horse, if they don't know how to back up, they might buck up in the air and run away, because they don't know how to shut that off. So it takes time to develop what it means. So your job right now in the preliminary stages is when he is like in that heel position or not pulling, you are just boom, like your arms are dead. The minute he decides to run off, no, and you're just saying, hey, relax. See that? That's perfect. Now, we're starting off in standing first, because when you're in motion, it's so much more difficult. So when you're moving forward, essentially you're going to be doing the same thing that you're doing. Is if he tries to pull in one way or the other, you're gonna give him pressure until he gets into line and he releases that pressure. But take your time and go slow. And one thing I want you to work on is pay attention to where you're going and not so much the dog. Good, oh, well done, good. Good, now just turn back this way, nice and calm. Good, and then release your, yep, perfect. And then I would just choke up on your leash a little bit. Give yourself a little bit less, yeah. Now nice and relaxed. Now this is good. And then you can just give a little bit of back pressure, just like that. Sometimes what's beneficial too and helpful is instead of giving constant pressure back, you just tap backwards like this. Bang, 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 bang. So much better. So much better. And basically what you're saying is hey, you're going with me, buddy. And what'll end up happening, hopefully, is he'll start looking at you, he'll start engaging with you, and he'll start to calm down. And slow, yep, and just shoulders straight, nice and relaxed. Perfect. Well done. And then stop, no sitting, just stop. Good. He has these little, I would call micro flash decision making. Like he gets into fight or flight. He gets into good cop, bad cop. He's like, I gotta go. It's anxiety essentially. He's not sure of what to do. You know, you saw him earlier, he's skating, he's pulling, he's whining, he's anxious. Now what you're doing is you're saying, hey, relax. And you're just giving him a task. So what he's learning how to do is he's learning how to deal with some of the stress that's inside of him, where he's like, oh, okay, I'm okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, he wants to go do something else, and then you just hold him and nice and relaxed. Good. Hey, you guys, we're doing a giveaway on the Tom Davis Dogtra 280C on this video. All you have to do to enter to win is subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification, like this video, and leave a comment down below to enter to win. Just my opinion on what's going on is he's not that like aggressive. That doesn't mean he can't bite, doesn't mean he won't bite. I'm just saying, behaviorally, when we talk about aggressive dogs versus reactive dogs, an aggressive dog is a dog that actually just wants to hurt somebody because their head tells them to, and they kind of enjoy it, unfortunately. And then a reactive dog is more, I'm barking externally and I'm acting a certain way, like the old saying of like big bark, no bite type thing. And they're wearing their anxiety and their stress and their insecurities through they're animals. Like a rattlesnake, when they're get into a situation, they rattle, right? A lot of animals have these exterior things of showing, yeah, you better not, oh God, he's coming. And I've said this a couple different times in this session. The reason why that's happening is because we can't even walk him on a leash without him pulling in a realistic environment, right? And I know we talked about how good he is at home, and like I said before, I'm glad that he's good at home for you, but if he can't go outside, you know, that's not realistic.
I'd be leery about using that slip collar.
You don't have to use the slip right now. You can go back to your front harness, that's totally fine. We are in the very beginning stages. This would be one out of at least 15 that you'll have to take to get to a point. Now, if we're not dealing with like a very anxious, stressed dog, I can usually tune the dog up pretty quick and bing, bang, boom, and we're off to the races. So I understand your concerns about the slip leash because he's powerful, but just remember that when you look at the anatomy and the build of a dog, of a canine, all of their power is right here. And I know, like you said, and a lot of other people say, well, the front clip harness works great. Good. If it works, great. But for you, it does not work when he's distracted.
Well, now he's in a frenzy, so.
Right. But that frenzy is going to be in here, outside, when there's people, dirt bikes. And again, my job and Kyle's job and the other trainers at the other facility is to tell you that unless you switch equipment to handle this dog more successfully, he's not going to mentally get better. And the reason why he's externally barking and reacting and potentially going after people is because he's mentally unstable. A dog should not sit in a room and cry for an entire hour when really all we're asking him to do is walk in a circle, right? Other than the primal instinctual things that this dog wants to do, there's no difference in this dog versus a German Shepherd or a Malinois or a Bloodhound. This is a working dog, and they are wound up like tight. And unless you have super control and outlets and communication and here's what you can do and here's what you can't do, you get all of that, right? And every day it just is wound up like this. And unless you know how to unwind it, it just leaps into the next day. And then after 3, 6, a year, 2 years, 3 years, all of that is in here and they just don't know what to do with it. I can see that his mental state of mind is very unstable, and I can see him being protective over you because you don't have control over him. So when you go out and he sees somebody he doesn't know, just like we demonstrated in here, he's gonna say, she doesn't know what she's doing, I must protect. And all of that starts on the leash. So as you can see, the dog is all over the place, pulling to the left, pulling to the right, stressed as ever, because there's no implication of structure. There's no implication of, hey, this is what I want you to do. Here's the things I want you to do. And I'm reinforcing it with certain things so you understand it and you respect it. This dog is an absolute case of stress and anxiety because of the lack of structure. So what these guys need to do is they really need to start taking an assertive approach with training the dog and having some sort of accountability. I want you to heel, I want you to sit. Right now, that doesn't exist. They're doing nothing. The dog is pulling and going left to right. Eyes are bulging out of the thing, jumping on the chair, just nothing, mainly because they just don't have anything pre-existing yet. So the homework is introducing very basic leash pressure in the house. You guys at home that are watching this, do not go out and try to teach any dog something new in a crazy environment. So these guys have a ton of work to do. But like with every dog, there's definitely progression. As you guys saw, the dog was walking nicely. The gentleman really started to tune the dog up, which was really nice to see. So it's gonna take them a lot longer because a professional like myself or maybe my other trainers can't handle the dog and tune the dog up for that immediately progression to the owner. This dog is too stressed to work with anybody but mom. It's gonna be really a learning curve for these guys to get things under control, but I have faith in them. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment in the comments below. Let me know where you guys are from, and we'll see you next time.